Away Namibians, away loopers, what's up? The NSK here. It's been a small minute, a tiny minute, not a long one, but like a tiny minute since we had our last episode. Speaking of which, the last episode was incredible. Okay, we had Hazel Hinda here, and she brought her everything. And there's something that she said that stayed with me. She said something in the sense of, yes, we are a small population, but that does not mean we should be ignorant. Well, something like that. She said it better. Let's just quickly roll the tape.
I keep hearing we're a small population. Yes, we're a small population, but we're not supposed to be small minds.
Oh, wait a minute.
First of
Whoa. Pause everything. Pause. I need to think about that.
Right? We're not supposed to.
Yes, we are a small population, but we are not supposed to be small-minded.
Absolutely not. When the World Wide Web is there, we can no longer sit and say we are paying actors $1,000 for a big brand advert.
And it's still happening.
It's still happening today. We are being exploited simply because that number, we're a small population. But once you put it on Facebook, somebody in Arizona is seeing it. Somebody in Japan is seeing it. Somebody in Nigeria is seeing it. So what is small?
Oh man, you are blowing my mind. That's what you're doing.
The second thing is that we don't understand the business model of entertainment industry. South Africans understood it very well. The Nigerians have understood it very well. Bollywood has understood it very well because it's a snowball
Oh my goodness.
effect. Namibians want to consume local content.
It still blows my mind until now, every time I watch it. Okay, Hazelinda, thank you so much. You're an incredible human being, and we wish you all the best, and we will be keeping an eye on you and rooting for you, Hazel. All right. By the way, check us out on TikTok. It's NSK_GMTM. Look at me forgetting my own handles. And you can also check out that's every single New Era platform that's on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. But you know what? Today is another day. Today is another day for someone to come and own their truth. Today is another day for someone to come and share their untold Namibian stories. As you know, Industry Loop is all about that. And today's guest, man, she is a Namibian darling, literally. Okay, she came on the scene like fire. And we were all like, yo, who is this girl, bruh? Like, who is this girl? She sings exceptionally well, but she also has a story to tell. And she's going to tell her story today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, young and old, non-conformant, DJ, and singer.
The one and only.
How are you doing, Anne?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to see you.
You're right. Like, you know what I mean? Usually when we see each other, it's like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We're running around, we, doing shows and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But we never really have a chance to speak. Nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm really excited to be here. Yeah.
And thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate
Thank you for
it.
having me. I was a bit skeptical about coming, given the circumstances and the timing and whatnot.
Yes,
but here we are.
Yeah. Look, man, before we even get into all the drama, right, we need to understand who is Anne Singer. Also, how do I pronounce your surname? Is it Linus or is it Linus?
It's Linus, honey.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anastasia Linus.
Yes, there you go.
Say it right, darling.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
actually, a friend of mine sent me a video of some guy that was speaking on Russian names, because Anastasia is a Russian name. There's a
Yes.
whole story about Anastasia. She was a Russian princess. Her family got killed or something like that. She escaped, and nobody knows what happened to her up to date. So he was pronouncing Anastasia. Apparently, it's not Anastasia, it's Anastasia. That's how you say it.
That's
in
right in
Russian.
Namibia.
But it's a Russian name.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, sharp. Anastasia Linus.
Linus.
There we go.
Yeah.
Who are you, dude? Like, where did you come from? Where's your hometown? Are you a Vinduker? You know what I mean? Where did you grow up?
Yeah.
Talk to us.
So I was born in the north. But I came to live in Windhoek when I was 2 years old. I was raised by my mom's sister. My parents were married. But I honestly, my family still doesn't want to tell me the story as to how I ended up with my mom's sister. But I grew up with my mom's sister. She raised me.
And not necessarily the parents now.
Yeah, my parents didn't raise me. I was raised by my mom's sister. It was a very interesting time growing up in Windhoek. I've lived many lives.
So
since
you were
then.
just born that side, but you
lived
grew up
here
this side.
my whole life.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So I'm basically a Windhoeker. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Where did you do your schools?
So grade 0.
Okay.
What people call grade 0 now, and grade 1, I was at People's Primary School, PPS.
Away. The legendary club. You know, there's a lot of legends that are part of PPS. Yeah.
And then grade 2 to 7, I was at Moses Karweb. Moses Karweb.
Yeah.
And then grade 8 to 12, I was at Commerce High School. I went to Commerce High School.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So basically, my whole life, Windhoek.
What year did you finish?
I finished in 2009.
2009?
Yes.
Away. Our club. No, actually, I finished in 2008.
Okay.
So I'm 1 year
You're a
senior.
year in front of me.
Yeah. But it's
Okay.
cool. You know what I mean?
All
right. And when you finished at the time, you know, because you're in high school now and at Commerce High.
Yeah.
Were there any singing competitions then? Were you singing there, or were you like shy? What was your character then?
I think in school I was a very focused kid because I was very smart, brilliant. I passed my grade 10 with flying colors. I think since from primary school I was always the kid that got.
How many points grade 10?
I think it was 42. No, I did really well in my grade 10 until I got to grade 12, you know. When
grade 12. That's where we must come on. Now we know the streets, and now we are coming back older ones. You did 40 points grade 10.
I know I did really well in my grade 10. I was like one of those A students.
Yeah.
And I think also from primary school, I was always a very artistic child, very brilliant. I always came home with some sort of certificate, drawing, agriculture, English, something.
So
Every
those
time
are
I was
school
there.
awards. The parents
Yes,
are there.
I was
You are always there.
I was always there. So I think when I got to high school, I was not shy, but I wasn't that kid that was interested in joining extracurricular activities.
Like the choirs or the Mr. and Mrs. What.
But also part of the reason was, I think, because we were all girls at home, and I think my aunt was very strict with us. The only thing we knew was school, home, church.
Yeah.
We didn't do much outside. You were going to school for an education. Like all the other things are a distraction for you.
Where was the location? Where was your family home?
In Kalutra.
Yeah, okay. And which church was it?
Emmanuel Church.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Opposite the school. The Hageging school.
Yes. You know, I see it. And then, so at which point did you know then that you can sing then?
Okay.
You know what I mean? At which point did you feel the fire burning inside of you?
Well, I think I never joined the choir, never sang in the choir.
Really?
No interest, yeah. But I also never had the interest of singing in choir.
Okay.
And then...
Because you're the superstar on your own, Miss.
Well, I mean... I don't know what... I mean, I don't... Not to blow my own horn.
Yeah, you know, but you know...
But I think most of the times everything for you is aligned without you knowing it's aligned. But I was never interested in singing in the choir. But then I had two friends in class. We were the ones that were always singing in class. It was me, Vicky, and Innocentia. Her name was Innocentia. I think you know Vicky. Vicky from Energy. She also sings now.
She also sings, huh?
Yeah, Vicky. Not Vicky. Vicky.
Vicky.
Yeah, with a Z. She's just
Oh, Ziki!
Ziki. Oh, you guys know about Ziki?
Yeah. No, Ziki's brilliant.
She is,
Yeah.
So we went to high school together.
They're Chicamos.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, she's part of
choir
Ponty's
as
Choir
well,
now.
yes.
She does her own thing. I think she has her own mixtape out as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
No, shout out to her. Like she's brilliant. So you guys are same class, same.
We went to school together. So it was
way.
me, her, and Innocentia, and sometimes we would sing in class.
Did you guys have a group name?
No, we were not a group.
Oh, okay.
We were just playing around.
Okay.
We were just basically playing around. And then until one day Vicky was like, I should introduce you to someone. I'm like, who? Bethold. I'm like, who's Bethold?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I met Bethold. Because she used to live like in, is it Windhoek North or Windhoek
Yeah,
West?
yeah.
Just like right.
It was in the main street, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think there was a house between Vicky and Bethold's house.
Yeah.
So she knew him. She would go there for vocal training.
Yeah.
And that's how I got introduced to Bethold. And when we met, he was like, sing.
And that, he's very serious with his craft. Yeah, don't come waste my time. Yeah.
And I'm meeting this person for the first time. I'm just like,
Miss G.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
He's like, sing. Fine, I sang. And as soon as I opened my mouth, he was just like, wow, I would love to work with you. I would love to mentor you. Like,
And this is high school.
this was me in high school, I think grade 10. Yeah, 10. Grade 10, I was already writing songs, like without even realizing or knowing that I had a passion for this thing.
Yeah.
I was just there. I was writing songs already. So I met Bethold and he made me cry during vocal training. Shout out to Bethold. Thank you so much for making me cry. He made me cry a lot. And if he was teaching me a song and I don't get it, he tells me, you're not going anywhere until you get it right. And I think when I got to grade 11, we continued and I started sneaking out of the house a little bit.
Of course,
sometimes
you know.
to go to events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think he was one of the people that actually opened up to me that I actually have a talent, that I can sing, you know. I think when I got to grade 12, that was when I met Lisa Ellis. And then I started doing song night. Yes.
So
and
already in grade 12, you started doing song night.
I think it was the year after. If I'm
okay.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think it was the year after, but this was a long time ago. by the way.
So the dates will
Really
not always be
remember the
100%.
details, but
Yeah.
I met Lisa Ellis, and I think I was one of those people that was always running from her, and she would always look for me. And where you come for rehearsal, you don't even have to come audition because you had to audition for song night. She's like, you don't have to audition, come for rehearsal. You have to perform, and I think. Right after grade 12, though, things got a little tricky. I failed my grade 12. I got pregnant with my daughter.
Yeah, your first daughter now.
Yes, and then, I kind of stepped back from the music a little bit.
Okay.
And then I think 2 years later as well, I had my son. And I was going through a lot of personal stuff. So, like, the music was not even something I was thinking about until 2014.
Yeah.
2014, that was when I was like, you know what, I think I want to do this. I remember I used to waitress. I was a waitress.
You were a waitress.
I was
At which restaurant? Do you remember?
At Spur.
You were at, like the main one, the legendary, the oh wow! So you know the song, you can do the song.
I forgot it though. Something. I forgot that song. The one that they do on your birthday.
Oh, the birthday shouting, yeah.
No, I forgot that song. But I was one of those people when you come to Spur, I was like singing or playing the drum for you.
Yeah.
So 2014, I saved up to record my first song, Witty Dance.
Wow.
I remember I paid $700 for that song.
And that time I was at Energy. I was at Energy that time. Booty Dance. I was I doing breakfast? I think I was doing breakfast with Crochet. Right? And the song came through at the time. I think Katiti was in production. He pulled the song up. He's like, yo, check out the song. And I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And so that was your first.
That was my first song. My first ever, like, that I paid for on my own. Like, I didn't have any other songs out. That was like my first song.
Dude, that's a fantastic first attempt.
Thank you.
Who recorded it for you? Directed for you?
I forgot his name.
Yeah. Is he still active even for that matter?
I don't even remember who he is. All I remember is that he's a Tswana guy. But if I see him, I think I'll be able to remember his face. But I forgot his name.
How do you forget your first, bruh?
Yo, hey.
Okay, so that was now, and I know for a fact that song was a radio hit.
It was because in that time Bass FM I think was still
Yes.
it used to play
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
Bass FM
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And I think that was when Antonio started getting wind of me, and I was also working at Energy at that time as a radio presenter.
Yes, you were.
And
Yeah.
it's radio.
Yeah.
That it was around the same time.
It
you
was
were there as
that
well.
we also met. Yeah.
So, and then 2015, Antonio was like, he reached out to me on Facebook. He's like, no, let's have a conversation. And that time I was what? I was 23.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what I was
Yeah.
doing, but
Yeah.
I was like so excited. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh, like a whole record deal and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation, and then he introduced me to Arafat and Glow, and that was when I started working on my first studio album,
It's not Bulletproof now.
Yes, that
Yes,
was
yes.
2015.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that year, we shot Bulletproof's music video.
Yeah.
And then 2016, I was like, wow, Namas,
Yes.
5 categories
Yes.
nominated. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
You know what? Before we get to 2016, there's a clip that I want to show you guys, right? Of Ann Singer on this big stage, a virgin of a performer, just conquering that stage at Dramatics. Let's check out her performance real quick. 2016. This is Ann Singer introducing herself literally to the world. Stick around.
Based on what you heard about me, you say you know my story, but trust me, you don't even know the half of it. See, my name has been spit-on, read through the mud, but every time it took hard, I picked it up and I dusted it off. Oh yes, I did it, me, myself, and I. Oh yes, I did it, me, myself, and I, and I. Finally here and I am bulletproof. Said I'm finally here and I am bulletproof. Hit me with your words, shoot me with a hate, do your words. Come on, come on, come on.
Welcome back. There you have it. Listen, this is literally probably her first big performance ever in her career, and there she is on the Nama stage, the biggest stage in the country at the time, and she does her song. She's got backup singers, and she's got like this dress on, and you've got your hair done, and walk us through the performance, dude. Like the stress, because I know those things are stressful, bro.
Yeah.
The rehearsals, the outfit, who's stressing you, who, what. Yeah.
I think one thing about me, I've always been a very brave girl. My mom told me I was born a premature baby. So basically,
okay.
I was born fighting for my life, So I'm one of those people, I could be terrified, but I make sure that the job gets done. I'm always nervous before I get on stage, till today, but I don't allow the nerves to get in the way of my work. So I think that day at the Namas, I was so nervous, and I don't know, I wasn't really present, because I remember, I think the first 2 awards, I didn't get them. People couldn't find me because I was busy getting my makeup done. And it wasn't my fault, because I didn't know I was winning. I didn't even know I was going to win anything. For me, my only focus was, I need to look good. I need to get on that stage and give the best performance of my life. So I think the second 2 awards, I got those, and then it was time to perform. I was so nervous. I was terrified, but I got it done. And I think, I don't know, man, it was one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah.
One of the very
definitely
best.
your top 3 in your highlight.
Yes.
as a performer, as a vocalist.
And not only as a performer, but as a person, because I've had so
The
many
last 6
lows
years,
before that, like so many, and yeah, man,
And the song that you sang was also extremely powerful.
Bulletproof was a very personal song to me. It still is. It's one of those songs I still go back to when I feel like I need motivation and I need to get back to remembering who I am.
Yeah.
So I go back to that. I'm like, nothing can shake me.
I mean, now that we're at the numbers, let's quickly talk about the numbers. You were at the time you were signed to Deal Done Records.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Antonio, man. Like, that man is a hustler, man.
Yeah,
You know what I
shout out
mean?
to
Like, no,
Antonio.
shout out to him. He loves the industry. He loves music. And he's still at it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yes, he doesn't maybe run a full-blown record label today,
Yeah.
but he still has his shop. He's still in the game.
Yeah.
But at the time, there were always talk about Antonio's arts. There was always talk about Antonio's arts. How? Why is his artist always winning? Fishman is there winning. Linda is there winning. I remember at the time Frida was also winning. And there is Ensinger. Who on earth is
even-
Ensinger?
yeah, who
Who's
even is she?
Ensinger? And now she's here taking 4 awards out of 5. The industry was saying that, or people were saying that, maybe he was there, a brown envelope under the table. Was that the case? Was he paying off people there at the Namas, or what was the situation there? Oh, do you know about this also?
Yeah, hi. The drama always has a way of finding
Of
me.
course.
Well, in all honesty, yes, there were a lot of rumors. Even I heard the rumors. There were even a lot of rumors that even I caught fire. Like, and are you busy with a guy or what? Stuff like that.
Is it? Okay, I see
there was
it.
a lot of rumors. And in all honesty, I cannot confirm or deny this because I don't know. I wasn't with Antonio. I wasn't really involved in the management of Singer.
Yeah.
I was the artist.
Yeah.
I had a contract. He was responsible for even I think when we
marketing, the
entered
shows
the
as well.
numbers.
Yeah.
It was like we had like a bunch of people in the room when we had to pick what songs to enter the numbers. We even had to pick a song to shoot a music video. So I wasn't really directly involved. If he was busy with that, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm not gonna speak on it because I honestly don't know. But I heard the rumors.
Staying with awards, you won 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
But you missed out on the one big one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The big one, the 100K one,
Yeah.
100,000K one. Did you feel robbed, or were you appreciative of it? Or did you sit there and be like, yeah, but how do I win all of these? But I don't win the big one.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't look at it in that way, and I honestly believe everything happens exactly as it should.
Yeah.
She couldn't deserve that award. It was her. She got it because it's hers.
Yes.
I didn't get it because it wasn't mine, and I was honestly appreciative of the fact that I won 4 awards for my first try in one night, and I think I was the biggest winner that night.
Yes, you were.
I was and
And you didn't even know it at the time.
I didn't even know. Like it came as a
Because you
surprise.
stuck there in mic and makeup.
Bro. So honestly, I'm just really grateful for the platform that the Namas gave, and they set me up for life. My resume will forever say award-winning musician, and and the story will always be the girl that came, she saw, conquered, and she blew everyone away like in one night. So I was grateful for that.
You say that it set you up for life. It set you up with other opportunities.
Yeah.
Is that where the Mabala noise thing came?
Yeah.
Walk
Yeah.
us through the Mabala noise thing.
So, I mean, I didn't really get the deal through the numbers, but the fact that I had awards to my name, it played a role. Because one day I'm sitting at a coffee shop with a friend, and then my friend's like, "Ann, somebody's calling you at the back." So I look at the back, and then I see this person. He's an acquaintance of mine. He's like, "Hey, Ann, come here." And then I go to him, and then I greet him, and he's like, "Listen, these are friends of mine. They're from South Africa. They own a record label, and they're looking to sign up. They were actually in Namibia scouting for talent."
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Away.
And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And I think I was very naive growing up, or maybe oblivious.
So you didn't know of them even
I
at the time.
never heard of them. I wasn't even like blown away. I wasn't interested. I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then one of the guy, he was like, "So you sing? Yes. Do you have anything out on YouTube?" Yeah. So then he went to search for Ann Singer. Then he saw the cover I did of Adele, and he was like,
And that one blew up.
"Yeah." He was like, "What? Is this your real voice?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's my real voice."
Yeah.
And then he went on to check out Bulletproof. He's like, "Okay." So I left them. I went back to my car. I remember the day I was having a photo shoot with Ingo.
Yeah.
Ingo.
English
Andrew.
Anyanga,
Yeah, I was having a photo shoot. So I needed to go for my photo shoot.
Yeah.
So when I was on my way, when I met Ingo, then the guy called. He's like, Anne, where are you? I'm like, no, I'm somewhere in Eros. I'm busy with a photo shoot. Listen, these guys want to sit. They want to have a conversation. I'm like, yeah, no, but I'm busy. I have a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to leave what I'm doing so I can come? Okay,
Yeah.
no, okay, just finish and then you come back to Avani because they're staying at Avani. Come and have a conversation with them. I remember I was with my little sister Tupo that day. So we did the shoot, we finished, we came back, and then I came to meet with them. And they were like, no, we own a record label, it's called Mabala Noise. We're one of the biggest in Africa.
Yeah, they were. They was like, yo, and also, wow, bye.
I think I'm one of those people. I probably live in a bubble of my own. I'm not one of those people that is up to date with what is really happening outside me. I focus on what I'm doing. I focus on my life. I'm not really out there trying to scout unless if it's important to me or if it's something I'm trying to get. But I wasn't looking to get signed to a record label. So it's not like I was looking around, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, no, we own one of the biggest record labels, Nesty C, Zandi Kumalo,
Yes,
Rikiri,
yeah,
Kuhu.
yeah.
I'm just sitting there looking at these people like, okay, so?
Oh, yeah.
You know? So they're like, yeah, are you currently signed? I'm like, no, I'm signed to Antonio. Yeah, we can maybe take a look at the contract that you have with him. Maybe we can get you out of it. I'm like, no, I want my contract to end. I'm not looking to get out of anything.
Yeah.
And I think my contract was ending that year. That was 2016 at the end of that year because I
Okay.
had signed a 2-year deal with Antonio, which was 2015, 2016.
Yes.
So 2016 at the end of that year, I think October it was ending. And then the guys were like, no, listen, let's exchange numbers. We really love your talent. We want to get you on board. So we exchanged numbers. We went our separate ways. And then I think the following months, they kept looking for me. You need to come to Joburg. You need to come to Joburg. And I was starting to get scared. I'm like, are you people legit? Is this a scam? Why are you people looking for me?
Joburg, Knuckles, what are you talking about? Yeah.
I have never left the country before. Never been anywhere far from my home. So I was like getting scared. So I think the year went by, and I remember
A whole year.
A whole year went by.
Oh, yeah.
A whole year went by, and I think it was October, November.
Yeah.
I really remember what month it was. I finally agreed to go. They were like, okay, we understand. Maybe you are scared. You can bring a friend. So I took a friend of mine with, and we flew to Joburg, and yeah, it was incredible. When we got there, there was a whole Mercedes-Benz waiting for me at the airport.
That's what I'm talking about. Levels. Levels. Learn something, Namibia. Boy, also. Oh.
No, I felt like a superstar. The guy that came to pick us up had a board with my name and my friend's name.
Nice.
Like, welcome to South Africa. So then the guy asked, do you want to go to the hotel first and change, or should we go to the office? So I was like, no, let's go to the office and get it out of the way. So we get to the office and we had breakfast. Then I got introduced to the big guy, to the owner of the label. And then after that, we had a conversation about my contract. I got a copy of it. And then they took me to a copyright lawyer because they were like, if you have any concerns, if there's anything you want to know, you can ask the lawyer. So I sat, I think, with the lawyer for maybe an hour or two. We went through the contract, and I was pretty happy with everything.
The money was also good.
It
Okay.
was.
Hey. Levels.
was good.
Levels. Yeah.
Everything was good. And I remember from there, they took us to the CBD, and then we had some of their food that they eat, their pap, and then the meat that they eat, and then from there we went to McDonald's. Then we went back to the hotel.
And that time, and that's what no McDonald's stories.
I didn't even know what was going on. And I remember, I think it was a Friday when we arrived.
Yeah.
And then the next day, they were like, no, what are you guys doing tomorrow? You guys can stay till Sunday. Everything is taken care of, and blah, blah, blah. So they were like, Kespa is having Fill Up Orlando Stadium tomorrow. You guys should get ready. We are going.
And obviously that's now VIP Shandy's now. You know what I mean?
No, babe. VVIP.
VVIP.
Like the last level of the VIP.
And Casper that time, oh my man, yo, wow.
Guy.
Yeah.
So I think that morning my friend and I went to the Mall of Africa. We did
Yeah,
a little
nice.
shopping. We bought outfits. And then we got picked up by our driver. We got to the stadium. You know, when I sat in that stadium, I felt drunk. The energies, because it
Drunk
was
from the
a
energy.
lot of people.
Yeah.
I had
Orlando
never
did,
in my life.
Iceman, Orlando did what, 40,000 people?
One is 60,000.
Was the 60,000 one? You?
It was crazy packed. Crazy. And because we were sitting in the VVIP section, obviously it was at the top, we could see everybody at the bottom. Yo, I sat there like this. Like I felt like I was drunk even though I didn't drink any alcohol. It was amazing. It
And
was
inspirational
so
also at the
amazing.
same time,
It
isn't it?
was. And I think that was when I realized that, Anne, you are a gone girl. You're gone. And I think the following week, the next day, we were supposed to fly out, but everybody obviously was out.
Yeah, yeah.
We ended up flying back the Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was incredible. And I think from there, it was really just, trying to get music done. I was supposed to work with Robbie Malinga, but then he passed.
Yeah.
He
So that was around that time.
Yes, so I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to do that. And I think most of the
Oh,
trips.
so that was the direction that they were looking for you. The
Yes.
more soulful, more
Yes,
Afro,
yes.
Afro soul.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Because I'm a singer. I'm not
Yes,
an entertainer.
true,
so
true.
I think they were trying to be very strategic in terms of how do we place her. We need to strategically place her, and of course, just so that I'm able to compete with. Okay, not compete. I don't believe in competition, but just so that I'm able to be on a shelf.
Have your brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with all the other vocalists and be on the same level. And at that time, Robbie Malinga was like one of the best.
Yes,
He was doing incredible
yes,
work.
yeah.
And most of the trips going to Joburg was really just like meetings, trying to get music,
Yeah.
and then I did the Durban July.
Yes, you did. You performed there.
I performed in
You
the
performed
Durban
there. That was
July.
amazing. Yeah.
I feel like I want to do that again, man. I feel like I didn't do justice to it.
Oh.
I deserve another chance.
Yeah.
I think I think when I got signed to Mabala, I had an incredible time. I had an incredible journey. I remember
How long did it last? Sorry.
it was 2017
Yeah.
to 2019.
Oh, that was also good 2 years.
Yeah, it was basically a good 2 years. And in those 2 years, I did the Durban July. I went to Europe. I went to Azerbaijan. I performed at a music conference there. I attended the Music in Africa conference in Nairobi.
That is incredible.
I got an invitation from Malawi for the Lake of Stars. There was a lot of things I did in that period. And I think when 2019 came, it really just crushed so many of our dreams, including mine. At the time, I was also accepted to do musical theater at the New York Film Academy, but I couldn't go because COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I had a really good, my career, starting from when I started and up until COVID, I had an incredible.
So make me
time.
understand this, Anne. So there was actually nothing wrong with yourself and Mabala. You
No.
guys were working.
Nothing happened. The only thing that happened was,
Yeah.
I think the only problem was that the label was a little bit affiliated to politics because the
Yes,
owner at
yeah,
the time was
yeah, that's
the
true.
president of the ANC Youth League.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of,
Yeah,
Julius
and
Malema was also involved there a
Yeah,
little bit in
yeah.
terms of him speaking out on the label and stuff. So then the label
Because I remember
got liquidated.
that was probably around the time that Julius was starting EFF and so on. So yeah, okay, yes, yeah.
So then the label got into liquidation around 2019 when my contract was ending. So that's basically all that happened.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So it was the liquidation and then now COVID now.
Yes,
Yeah.
COVID, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. I don't know where people got the stories from. And there was a lot of stories around that deal as well. People accused me of signing to Illuminati.
Yeah, and I'm getting to that because it's like all I'm hearing from you is like we were working.
We were.
You know what I mean? And you've got the receipts, you know what I mean? And you know what? We will show you the receipts, throughout as we having this conversation, you know what I mean? Okay, so man, wow. How come we didn't know about this though? Like, is it ignorance on our part as
No,
Namibians,
I
or
think-
did Namibian media not
I think
latch
it's
on the
me.
idea?
I think it's me.
You, okay.
Yeah, I how do I explain it? I don't speak on things unless I feel the need to. And even if you look on my social media, I only post what I want people to know. If I don't post about it, it's none of your business. If I don't talk about it, people won't know. So I think there was a lot of things I wasn't talking about. I mean, it's not necessary for me to let you know I'm on a flight to Joburg. What for? What are you going to do with that
I
information?
mean, girl, content. I mean,
At the time,
vibes,
yes.
vital moments.
You're right, but at the time, I don't think I understood what content was.
okay,
I was
yeah.
really just living my life. I was in the moment. I wasn't living it on social media. I was living it in real time.
Yeah.
Of course, I have pictures from Casper's Philip Orlando Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't even think I posted them. Honestly,
Real humble girl, this one.
Because I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, there's a lot of things I've done in my career that I haven't posted about. A lot. I have so many incredible achievements, and some of them were personal for me. So I was like, I don't need to share this with anyone.
Which is why we do what we do here.
I guess.
You understand? Those
I
aren't
guess.
told in the movie
Yeah,
stories.
I guess.
We didn't know this. We just heard, oh wait, my bala noise. Our girl is in South Africa. Okay. Yeah, she's busy with Illuminati. Yeah. What other conclusion is there?
Like, I read the stories, and I think there's a song that I did on my Sanity album where I think after my contract ended with Mabala, and then COVID happened, because I had such a really great season, and then when 2019 came, I don't know, because I was up and down, I didn't have a chance to actually sit down and feel or just go through the motions or go through whatever it is I was going through. I just crushed. In 2019 I crushed, and
just personally, your mental
personally,
and everything.
I suffered from depression. I think that whole year I did a lot of work with Selma Kamania, because she was Miss Namibia then. So we did a lot of work.
And she was very focused on that. Yeah.
So she invited me to a lot of events where I was part of either her panel or I was, performing.
You were
whatever.
honest about it. Like you were sharing the stories.
Yeah, look, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. And I think when I shared my story on social media, I had celebrities, people reaching out to me saying, oh wow, Anne, you're so brave for sharing your story. I wasn't depressed because something happened. I think I just wasn't dealing with the things in my life. I was like brushing them off, and I'm the type of person that bottles things up. I keep quiet about a lot of things. I bottle, and then one day one small thing will happen that will trigger me, and then I cry about everything. Like I just crush. So that was what happened, and so I did a lot of work on mental health, and there's a lot of things, man.
So and that was 2019, and you've been working on yourself, and you've been working on this. So by now you sort of kind of understand who you are. You understand your weaknesses. You understand your strengths. You understand your triggers. And you've done a lot of work on yourself.
I've done a lot of work on myself.
Yeah. Which is why you're here, isn't it?
This is why I'm here.
Yeah. I want to before you move on, and there's a very beautiful clip that I found of you.
Okay.
The thing is, I appreciate virgin ears. I really do. They are so innocent. They are so tender, and they're so beautiful. What's this guy's name? It's a clip of you.
Okay.
Those two guitarists. And at the College of the Arts,
it's not Zenzo.
Zenzo, right?
And another guy.
And another guy. Yeah, you were playing drums even.
Yes, and I was playing What If God Was One of Us. I remember that clip.
Let's roll that clip so that you see pure talent. This is not so that you understand how she ended up in Mabala. Why she ended up in Joburg, in Nairobi, and all these things. Stick around, don't go anywhere. The innocence, pure talent, the vocals. You play drums. Wait a minute. Did you play instruments?
No, that was just us.
We were just vibing and stuff. Okay.
We were just vibing, and like I was saying earlier, I'm grateful for the beginning that I had. I'm grateful for Lisa Alice, introducing me to live performing, because now I don't even know how to do a backtrack. I swear, I don't know how to do a backtrack. I'm a live performer. Even if it's a single band, 3-piece, 2-piece, I don't know how to do a backtrack. And it's because of that. So I was surrounded by a lot of musicians, a lot of originality, a lot of authenticity. I'm really grateful for the beginning that I had.
Can you do me a favor real quick, Anne?
Depends.
Owens, real quick, which camera is Anne's camera? Just real quick. It's this one.
That's my camera.
Okay. This one, okay, sharp. And please look into that camera. And please, on Industry Loop, invite Liz Ellis to come here because I've invited her a couple of times. I believe she has an incredible story to tell. She has created so many vocalists and created the path for many.
Yeah.
I believe the floor is yours. Please.
Hey,
ask her to come out.
I hope you're watching, and if you're not, I'm going to give you a call after this.
Absolutely.
Please come to the Industry Loop because you've played such an incredible role in my journey and so many other musicians out there. Sean K as well.
Sean
and
K
ended up on the X Factor.
Exactly. Now in Malta, and he did exceptionally well.
Exactly. So, Liz, please, you need to come. I think we need more people like you. Come and inspire other people out there that would like to also,
That's a belief.
Pave a way for other musicians out there.
Aussie Liz? Look, I wanna go back to your grade 11, grade 12 year. There's many of us that are grade 10, we did so well, and then when we get to our grade 12, it's either our teenage inquisitive nonsense that lead us to other stuff.
Yeah.
and I myself, I'm a teenage dad, or I was a teenage dad. My first daughter, she's grade 9 now. Oh my word, the stress.
I can imagine. Mine is going to high school next year. I'm not okay.
Welcome. So I mean, I was also grade 12. When it happened. You said your first daughter, your first child, your daughter, it was grade 12 or was it the year after? It was the year after.
Yeah, I was in Tucson then, yeah.
All right. Okay. Walk us through that process. The baby father is Mushe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you meet Mushe? Because, I mean, you're in high school or you are at Tucson. Was he here for performance? Or what happened? Was it the Bethel situation? Talk to us.
The funny thing is when I met him, it had nothing to do with music. We just met at some place and we got acquainted and that's how the conversation started. Did
you know he was an artist?
No, I didn't even know who he was.
Because Anne is in her own world most. Okay, yeah, okay, yes.
No, but then also at that time, he wasn't in his prime. He wasn't even who he was or who he is. So when I met him, I think he was well on his way to becoming the person that he became. And I think I met him when was it grade 12? Yeah, I think it was grade 12. Yeah. And then we got into a relationship. And that's how I ended up pregnant the year after with my daughter.
This is a full-blown relationship. Like,
it was
you guys
a relationship.
are dating.
Yes.
Like you have an obligation to each other.
Yes.
This is not some sort of, we just fleeing and I'll just see you when I'm in Vintu.
No.
It was an actual relationship.
It was an actual relationship.
Okay. And then, okay, stop. So you started seeing each other in grade 12 into the next year.
Yes.
2010, 9, 10.
Yeah, 10,
right?
yeah.
And you were at Tucson at the time. Okay, and that's where you fall pregnant now.
I got pregnant, I think, at the beginning of that year because my daughter is born in November. Okay. So I was literally pregnant the whole year. Yeah. So I was one of those students in Tucson. You know the Tucson in town?
Wow,
the one where you go every day.
Yeah. But the uniform.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think I didn't have a difficult journey in terms of my pregnancy.
Okay.
I remember my aunt one day asking me, are you going to continue going to school or will you stop going to school? And, like I said in the beginning, I was one of those people. I could be terrified about something, but I'll go ahead and do it. And I was like, no, I'm going to go to school. And I finished. I wrote my final exams. And I think a week after I finished writing my final exams on the 15th, I gave birth to a bouncing, healthy, beautiful baby girl.
How do you women do it? We have to appreciate women, man. Go through the whole year of school, family stress probably also, you know what I mean?
It was a lot.
A lot happening, and then you give birth, but you also pass your exams. You know what? I could wow.
And I think what I took from that is I would really like to, let young women out there that they should wait. It's not something you want to go through. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not. I cannot even advocate to say that, at least if you have a supportive system, even if you do, it's not something you want to go through at a young age. Wait.
Whenever I'm on radio and I say, yo, don't get kids, or that if I had a choice, I would have done things differently. Yeah. And people always look at me like, oh, what do you mean? Do you hate your child?
Yeah,
no. I love my kids.
Regret. Yeah.
It's not regret. It's just, it's not a nice thing. If I knew back then
what you know now, you would have done things differently.
Way differently.
Yeah.
What was his reaction when you told him that you are expecting? Because I mean, you had to tell him at some point, right? Yeah.
I think when I found out, I told him to buy the test because I was like, I think I might. Sorry for
No, it's fine. That's fine. It's fine. We will blur it out.
I was like, shucks. I was like, shucks. I think I might be pregnant. And then he bought
you're
the
missing
test.
your period and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my body started to change, you know. So then we bought the test, and then I remember we went into. I think at the time there was a house that they used to frequent with their then manager. There by what is the place? Somewhere in Kokoda.
And then manager Robert now.
Robert,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Ah, Robert.
Yeah.
Every time he sees me, he still thinks he's seeing that little girl. you know? Yeah, no.
No, shout out to Robert, man. Robert
no.
is a true lover
Shout out
of
to
anything
Robert.
Namibian.
Yeah. So I remember we went into the toilet and we took the test and he was positive and we were both terrified because at the time I was like what 18, but he was like a little bit way older than me because he's like 8 years older than me if I'm not mistaken, because I'm 32 now and he's 40.
Okay.
So that's an 8-year gap.
Okay.
So I was 18, he was like in his 20s.
All right.
So obviously he was slightly older than me, but then I take full responsibility for everything that happened. I wasn't a victim, you know.
Or anything,
Yeah, that's not what happened. And I think a lot of people on social media,
They
when I told
assume
them,
that,
because there was a part where I almost explained myself on Twitter, and then people quickly corrected me and said, no, Anne, you're not doing that. You're not explaining yourself to these strangers on the internet. You don't owe them a story. Where I had said, no, guys, I was young, it happened, it's not a secret. And I think when it came out, people were shocked because a lot of people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
The 10 years that I've been in this industry, NSK, you've known me.
Yes.
Before I even became Ann Singer, you know, from radio and whatnot, not once have I built my brand on controversy or drama.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken
or
about
alignment to, or I am his.
Exactly, because I'm not. That's not my identity. I'm Ann Singer. This is who I am on my own, with no attachment to who I've slept with or who I have children with, or what family I come from, or what I've done in the past. Or the only thing that matters is where I'm going, and that's what I focus on.
Real quick, was that his first child?
That's his
with you
first
also?
child.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his first child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is actually quite deep.
Yeah, we were both terrified.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we are keeping it. I'm like, yeah, of course we are keeping it.
So he didn't ask you, okay.
Yeah, you want me to commit a sin on top of another sin. I was terrified. I was like, how am I going to tell my parents? I remember, I think I went to the north. I remember what I went to do in the north. Then I told my sister, because my sister is my best friend.
Yeah.
She's like the ultimate deputy parent.
Are we? What's her name? So we can give a shout out.
Shout out to my sister Hendrina. I love you so much.
Yeah.
So I told him like, yo, but I messed up. She's like, hey, no, I'm pregnant. Please tell the Zali, my mom now. So then she called. I think she was in Windhoek at the time. Then she called my mom. And then my mom, my biological mom, then, because I went to my mom.
Yeah.
And then my mom called me. She's like, what is this that I'm hearing from your sister? And I think I really appreciate how my mom handled it. And I think till today, my mom and I don't have a mother-daughter relationship. We are more like friends because we still don't know each other.
Yeah.
I didn't
Because
grow
you
up
grew
with
up
her.
with your sister more.
Yeah. You know, so I think how she came at me really helped in terms of me moving forward from that day on.
Yeah.
Because so much could have happened. I could have decided to abort the child. I could have tried to kill myself. I think it's also very important. I'm not advocating for young women or young girls to fall pregnant. But in an instance, in a way it happens, we as adults need to really do better. We need
how
to
to handle it.
Exactly.
Instead of chasing the children out.
Exactly.
Like, yo.
Yeah, you know, and I think one of the most difficult things I had also was a lot of people kicked me when I was already down, you know. Fine, I messed up. But instead of gossiping about me and calling Auntie Hoo and saying, oh, she's pregnant, you know, why don't you ask me, fine, Anne, you messed up. Where to from here? What's your plan? How can we help you move from where you are to where you want to get?
Yeah.
And I think because I didn't have my mom, my dad died when I was 6. I kind of like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I kind of like had to fight for myself. And that's why I wrote Bulletproof. It's such a personal song because it was my experience. I went through
the next
a
time
lot.
I'm going to listen to that song, it's going to be very different. But yeah.
Yeah, so, but I came out stronger. I came out better, not bitter. And I think, like I was saying, my mom was like, okay, so you're pregnant, who's the father? You know, what about school? And she was very calm. And then she called her sister. She called my aunt.
The one that raised you.
She had to call her sister. Mind you, my aunt is older than my mom.
Oh,
obviously
snap.
My mom now has to call her big sister, to explain to her
situation,
that the child you are raising that I gave birth to.
Oh,
It's
man.
my mom.
Yeah.
So then I came back to Windhoek. Then I remember my aunt calling me one day, like at 5 in the morning in her room. I already know why she was calling me. Yeah, tell me what's going on. No, I'm pregnant. Hey, who's the father? No, I tell her the whole story. She's like, okay, what about school? Are you going to continue or do you want to stay at home? I was like, no, I'll continue.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And-
the rest is history.
And Musha was supportive in this whole process.
He was there. Even during
The clinics visits
he was
and
there.
all that.
He was there. He was there. Like, that's one thing I don't want to take away from him.
Yeah.
Despite the reputation that he has now,
Yeah.
he was a completely different person than when we were together. He
And I
was
appreciate,
there.
and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a vindictive person or a person with a terrible heart would have probably slandered it and made it something
No,
different than
I
it's
don't
not.
lie about anything.
Yeah.
And I think give people their flowers for who they were in the time they were who they were. People change,
Yeah.
people grow, circumstances, traumas, whatnot. I don't know what happened that he got to where he is,
Right now,
but
yeah.
I don't have any bad things to say about somebody I haven't seen for years.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Well, which brings me to my next point. The second child is also his.
Yeah.
So the relationship did continue.
The
You guys
relationship-
were in love.
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess we were in love. I mean, that's what I knew
you-
love to be
at the
in
time.
that time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second child, what was the difference between the first and the second child?
Okay, my daughter is 2010.
Okay.
And my son is 2012.
Okay.
So it's a year.
All right.
So I think when I gave birth, then I found out there was another lady that was pregnant.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it was a lot of fighting and stuff.
All right.
And
this is now. Wait, sorry. This was after you gave birth to the first one.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I wanted to leave, and then you know how relationships are. I stayed, and then I had my son. But
There's also another child that's also being raised now concurrently with your first.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when I had my son, I was just like, no, man, this is not for me. And that was when I walked away, and that was when now.
when you had your son, was it still supportive, or did now things just get to a very toxic level now?
I think after I had my son, he was going through a lot. Then that's when the awards, the drama, the newspaper articles, the what. So I think he was in his prime. So then I just walked away.
But was he still active in the children's life though?
He was.
Okay.
He was.
All right.
But I think our relationship took a toll. Not a troll, but a toll.
A toll, yeah.
Yeah. We were arguing a lot, even though we were not together anymore. We were arguing a lot, and just buy nappies, do what. You know, we were arguing a lot, but he was still there. He was still there, but we were not friends anymore. We were not together anymore.
So the second baby arrives, your son. He arrives, and Musha is now Musha. He's all over this country. He's winning these awards, and at the time he had a very public relationship with Hella, right? And Shequan and I on our radio show on Fresh FM had a conversation with Hella recently.
Okay.
And she narrated how she had to the day she had to go to the awards the day after. Sorry, how do I put this? The day after, as she was going to the awards, she went there nicely panel beaten. And she had to put on a lot of makeup for those awards just to look, as if there was nothing that happened, right? Was the abuse also evident in your relationship with Musha at the time, especially now with the first child? Now you guys start arguing. There's another child from outside that's also there. Was there at any point there was violence perpetrated towards you?
No, there was no violence. And I think I'm not a confrontational person. Not that I'm saying she is. And I honestly don't want to speak on that lady because I don't know her personally to even have an opinion. I don't speak on people I don't know. When you don't know somebody, you shouldn't be comfortable to even have a conversation about them. I don't have an opinion about her. I sympathize with her because, of course, it's not okay for a man to put his hands on a woman. And I mean, I speak to all women out there. If he's putting his hands on you, leave. It doesn't change. He's going to end up killing you. And I think even the bullying that was happening on social media recently towards me, I was getting backlash because of something that has nothing to do with me. I was catching strays. I was minding my own business.
Serious strays, dude. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it was the men that were actually insulting me on social media. And it was actually sad to see that Namibian men and even society, we want to normalize men abusing women physically, verbally, emotionally. It's not right. So I sympathize with her, and I want to say to everybody out there, if you're in an abusive relationship, leave and don't look back. I mean, look, we act as if we have forever to live, guys. We don't have time. Time is fleeting. We have important things we need to focus on. You cannot stay in a toxic relationship. Don't stay in a toxic environment. Don't stay in a toxic situation. Get out. You have dreams you need to get done. Rather focus on that. Focus on being great.
Okay, so there was no violence.
No.
Okay. That is actually refreshing to hear.
You know, like I said, he wasn't the person he became after he got the reputation.
Okay.
Yeah.
As for status quo right now, before we get into now the backlash and so on, that the strays, as you mentioned, that you're getting, because look, man, on this podcast with many of my guests that I have here. I and also other platforms, right? As Namibian man, we really get ostracized, man. And I really try in my small little bit to try and encourage the gents, like, yo, man, let's do the right thing, gents. Let's do the right thing, right? Is he present in the ladies' lives today? Has he been present in the ladies' lives today? Is he involved? Is he asking for the report card? Is he calling? Is he scolding the older one even where it needs to be? Is he being a dad?
I think that's only a question he can answer. I don't want to speak for him. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, as usual on Industry Loop, I'm gonna call Musha out. I'm going to call him out. The last time I called Jericho out, he refused to come after the situation with Webster. I'm going to call Musha out. Omes, here's the chair. And I challenge you to come answer this question. Are you being a dad to your two lighties with this woman? And I know there are other kids, but we're talking about Ann Singer right now. The floor is yours. The floor is open, and you're more than welcome to come and come rebuttal or to come add your truth to it. Industry Loop is here. In terms of the strays now that you're catching, right? I don't understand that.
Look, honestly, I don't know.
Because I was looking at it. I was like, okay, but like, make us understand. Some of us who are confused here. Like, why are they coming for you?
I think maybe people are looking at that interview in a different light, different to what how I looked at it. Because honestly, last week Sunday, I was busy studying for my exam, and then I hadn't tweeted for 2 days. And I'm very vocal on Twitter. I make a lot of noise on Twitter. So I get a notification like there was an @n. So I ignored it. I'm like, Twitter people must wait. I'm too busy. I'm writing an exam. So then I got tempted. I'm like, but who's @ing me? What are they saying? Let me go see. So I see the ad, and it's like, so Musha has 2 kids with Ann Singer.
And that tweet went viral.
Bro! So then I laughed it off. I was like, huh? Who? Why is this news? And then it just blew up. And then I don't know what my sin was. I don't know what I did wrong. People just started coming for me. And I think that's when I realized that people are
especially
always
men
looking.
now.
Yes, they are always looking for someone to bully, to troll. Like, that's bullying. Somebody called me a hoe. I'm like, why? Because I have kids. It's not a unique story. There's a lot of people out there that have children. Even you are somebody's child. Why am I a hoe? So at first I wanted to ignore it. Then I was like, no, man, but I haven't done anything wrong. My only mistake was having children with this person, which was not even, it wasn't a mistake. look, whatever happened exactly as it should have. We needed to meet to have these children. We needed to bring these children into the world. But our worlds have nothing to do with each other. We are not together. This person is not my friend. There's nothing going on there. And I think a lot of people were shocked, and they probably thought that I was dealing with this person 2-3 years ago. No, our daughter is 13. Our son is turning 11. I broke up with this man 11 years ago. That was when it happened, and that was the end of it. So it's been 11 years. And since I've been in the industry, I never made it a thing because it's not important to me. It doesn't matter who the father of my children is. So
Like, why should it matter?
like, was I supposed to have a public announcement? And in fact, NSK, this is a conversation we should have had. We should have had in 2015. Why are we having it in 2023?
Can you imagine?
Why is it news? You know, and it's the men that like the stories, like Namibian men. I know. You know, I think the ladies were supportive, but the men, I was being insulted for no reason, you know. And then there was a lot of rumors on the socials, especially about the songs. Somebody said apparently I wrote Dimi Nengepo for him. NSK, when somebody wrongs you and they hurt you, why are you the one asking for forgiveness? Does it make sense?
That's a very
Why
good
am I
question.
asking for forgiveness? What did I do?
What did you do?
I mean, those that listened to the interview, they heard what he said, that he was busy, you know. He did what he did, and people left because of his behavior. And I left because of that as well. So why am I asking for forgiveness? That song had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with him. I have never written a song for that man. And I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. Or ever, for that matter.
The fact that you're calling him that man it sort of kind of answers my question that I asked earlier, whether he is involved. But
please don't put words in my mouth, NSK.
Okay.
Do not, like I said, I do not want to speak for him. And I do not believe in kicking people when they're already down. So that's maybe a conversation you should have with him. And if he wants to answer it truthfully, or if he wants to lie, that's up to him. But I don't want to speak for him. I don't want to speak on him. And I don't want to speak about him when it comes to that matter.
One thing has to be clear, though, as an analyst, also as an industry analyst, and I can promise you right now, it's quite commendable that you build the repertoire that you have, the brand that you have, without any affiliation to him.
Thank you.
You know, and you have done incredible stuff.
Thank you so
with
much.
your career.
Thank you.
And as a person and as an entrepreneur, even.
Yeah, there's that.
You know, and we're getting to that now. We're getting to that now. Stick around, don't go anywhere. We're going to play you one of her songs right now. We will let our producer Iceman choose which one he wants to play. It's going to surprise us now. And we'll be back in a bit. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
I was very young when I had you, and I carried you for 9 months. When I held you in my arms for the first time, I knew I found love. I knew I found strength I didn't know I possessed in my heart. Yeah, right here in my heart. Yo, I knew I found love. Found a strength I didn't know that I possessed in my heart. Oh, right here in my heart. Right here in my heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Apa tu nggak tengok nggak luma. Yeah, they go kanda. You know, you know, you know, you know. If I had listened, child, ningaga, child, ningaga, kanaka. Ooh, ooh,
Apparently, that's our producer Iceman's favorite. Thank you so much, Obviously, we appreciate it. But he changed his name recently. 55, 48 beers.
What kind of a name is that?
He'll explain one day. He'll come sit on the couch one day and he'll come explain. Yeah. Look, we in as much as we on this couch we talk about the negative and we unearth it and we face it and we and we challenge it head on, we also focus on the positive.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Every person that has been on this couch, we look at the positive, we look at the future, we look at the W's.
Yeah.
You are a hustler, man. Yo? Hi, this one. Are you a hustler, you?
Well, look, it comes with being a mom, man.
It
comes with being a mom.
So, do you still cook, dude? Like, what tell us about that hustle. You know what I mean? I know it was also COVID inspired.
Yeah.
Walk us through your catering venture right now.
Okay, so 2020. I was at home, no gigs, no money. My savings were running out. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I started doing activations. In the shops, bro. I was in there doing activations. At first,
you would cook like let's say.
No, I'm getting to the cooking.
Oh, okay, now,
I'm getting
sharp.
to how we got to the cooking.
All right, okay.
So I became a promo girl. I was working for an activations company. I did like a lot of activations for a lot of companies. And in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, Anne Singer is in the shop doing promotions. But then I spoke to myself. I'm like, Anne, when you don't have bread on your table, nobody is bailing you out. So you need to get your ish together. So I was hustling. Then I got into insurance. I started working for insurance. I was working for one company, I think for 6 months. Then I got another job at another insurance company in the 6 months. And then I got promoted to telesales marketer, and I was still doing promotions. And then later on, I was like, nah, man, I'm not really enjoying this anymore.
This 8 to 5 schedule.
Yeah, like it's not working for me. And that was when I sat with myself. I'm like, outside the music, what else can I do that I can actually enjoy without feeling like I'm working? I was like, but I can cook, man. And I'm really good at it. And when it was my sister's wedding, I cooked all the food at her wedding.
Oh, snap.
When it was my brother's wedding, I cooked all the food at her wedding. And at home,
And there was no complaints. People enjoyed it.
Yes. So I was like, let me cook. And then I called up a friend of mine that was actually doing something similar. She was doing lunch packs. And then I asked, how are you doing it? She was like, no, it's you can make it work. So she guided me. Her name is Selma. Shout out to Selma. So she guided me, and it started like a joke. I took the bright stand outside. our house. I started buying. I called my friends. I was like, guys, I'm selling meat. Come and buy. People came. It became a vibe. And then the Monday, I had an order for a certain ministry. I don't want to mention.
Yeah.
I think it was like 25 lunch bags for the Monday.
Oh, that is a fantastic start.
Yep. And the rest was history.
And that's where you started pushing.
That's where I started.
And you're still active. That business is still running?
I'm still active. I'm not advertising at the moment because I have too much going on. In between managing and singer and then managing the real estate and then school and just a bunch of other things. I don't want to overbook myself, to double book myself. Because sometimes I have catering for like 2 weeks. And then Singer has a performance. In between that, I have to go for rehearsal with the band. And then in between that, I have a test. And then in between that, I need to go do viewings. I need to sell a property somewhere. So I don't advertise, but the companies that know I cook actually reach out to me. The funny thing is I actually got a call today on my way here. So we have like a 2-week thing happening starting tomorrow where I have to cook and manage for like an international tournament.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the true definition of GMTM. Go make that money, man. You're a hustler. You're inspirational, dude.
Thank
wow.
you. So I don't advertise, but I think last month I got a double booking for 2 companies where I was cooking lunch packs for Monday to Saturday for 2 weeks.
Hectic,
The one was 30 people. The other was about 18 people. So it's like cooking for like almost 50 people. And because I'm a perfectionist, I haven't hired anyone yet because I don't know if they'll be able to do it exactly how I want to. So I'm doing it myself. So that's why I'm not advertising at the moment because I don't want to double book myself. But I'm still doing it.
Now, congratulations. Yes, please. The whole team, gents, the whole team, guys. You know, we lunch on and singer. So, and also, by the way, congratulations on the real estate, the diploma, y'all. You know what I mean? Wow. And you know, and you see, that's the thing about you also, Nam, because you are so. You are a private person, right? It's a bit of an oxymoron. Like you're a public figure, but you're a private person. Cool. So when the announcement was made, when the article dropped, when it was like, oh snap, you have a diploma now. You know what I mean? It was like, what? Where? How? Like, couldn't fathom. Tell us about that journey, dude. Like, real estate guy.
Yeah.
And yes, it is an extremely lucrative market, especially seeing where Namibia is going.
Yeah.
With the market right now, you know, all the big opportunities, that's the windfall that's going to hit us in the next 20 years or so. Why real estate though?
Okay, so I enrolled back in 2022. And I was like, I want to do a short course, not too long, because I don't have time, first of all. Second of all, I don't want to spend 4 years, 5 years doing a course and then not be able to get into an industry and be able to get back what I've spent on the course. So I was like, and I'm always thinking, you know, what else can I do to make money outside what I'm doing, which I know I'm going to enjoy. So I started thinking about all the skills I have and all the things I've done. I've worked on radio. I have people skills. I've worked as a waitress. I know how to talk to people, you know.
Yes, you do.
I have a background in sales. I was like, selling houses. So I was like, I want to equip myself with all of the knowledge that I need to get into this industry. And instead of just going to the board to write the exam and pass and get that certificate that allows you to sell property, why not do a diploma so that I have vast knowledge in terms of this industry? And then when I enter, I know exactly what I'm doing. So that's how I ended up there.
Are we winning?
We're winning. Don't leave me hanging.
Sorry. Oh wow. Yeah.
I'm currently working with Prime Rose Realtors. I'm doing. Kind of started off.
Prime Rose, the artist. This is something else now. This is someone else.
This is Prime Rose Realtors.
Okay. No, it's just there's a Mantresa artist also.
Prime Rose. I think I've heard of her.
Okay. It's not her. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'm in there now. I'm still learning the ropes. But so far so good. I think I've had some of the best mentors because I did my internship with Twin Influencers by Twin Tower Properties.
Those are my people.
Shout out to them.
Those are my people.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I've had one of the best in terms of, showing me the ropes. Shout out to my principal agent as well, Ms. I don't want to mention her
Okay,
name.
but shout out to her. Yes, 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 yeah.
So far so
All right.
good. I'm still learning the ropes, but we are in there.
But we call you.
We are in, please.
Yes, we call you. Yeah.
I'm trying to sell as many properties as possible.
Yeah.
If you are bored of your house, if you just want to sell,
Look
for
at the
sake of
take over my
selling,
podcast.
please call me now. I beg, call me.
Let's come back to the music before we let you go. Talk to us about the music. Is that still a love? Is that still something that you will get back to?
Yeah.
Are we working on something? I know you've got 3 studio albums, right? Are we working on something, or are we just like, are we just having fun with it right now?
Yeah.
Are we looking at collaborations? Or,
I'm collaborating with God now.
Okay. I see what. Okay. All right. No. Tell us about the journey. Tell us about it.
Look, I think music is always going to be my first love.
Okay.
I remember one day, and I'm a firm believer that every time I'm stuck between crossroads, I have conversations with other people. Even today, before I came here, I called like a few people that I really, really trust, and I was like, should I go do this interview? Is it worth it? I mean, do I need to? And people are like, no, and this is serious. This is your brand. Go and set the record straight. Go say what you need to say. But you're not going there to speak bad about anyone. You're not going there to speak on or for anyone. You're going there to speak for yourself. So as we having this conversation, I had a conversation the other day with a friend, and I was like, sometimes I'm a bit confused or worried about what my purpose is, because I believe that we're not here to live forever. Time is fleeting, and you have a purpose you need to fulfill. And he was like, but Anne, like by now you're 32 years old. By now you should have figured out what your purpose is. And the fact that God placed a seed inside of you while you were still in your mother's womb, music is your purpose.
Sure, that is wow.
Yeah, he was like, music is your purpose. There's a reason why God chose you. You are chosen. He gave you a gift for a reason. And even with all of the music that you've done, it has changed people's lives. It has touched people. You have the gift to make people feel with your music. You're not done yet. That's why you're still alive. There's still a lot you need to do with music. There's a message you need to give out there to people, and you are delaying people's destinies because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So music will always be my first love. I'm not going anywhere. 2 weeks ago, I had a performance for a gala event with the Environmental Fund. So I'm still performing.
Nice.
I'm
Okay,
still
at least you're still okay.
Yeah, no, I'm still getting booked. Like I think the end of last year, I had a very busy end of year. I had a Christmas gig. Before that, I had a performance before that. I had a New Year gig. I couldn't even spend Christmas and New Year's with my children because I was working. I did the Valentine's gig with the Hilton Hotel at the beginning of the year.
Yes,
so
you did.
I've been, and this is what I keep telling people, that I'm not in the studio, I'm not recording, but I am performing. And I think, yes, maybe some people will beg to differ that music is about getting into studio and recording music, but it's also about keeping the brand alive and actually getting the work done. So yes, music is always going to be there.
The reason why you're still performing is because the music is timeless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unconditional love. Like there's so many songs. Oh my word.
And you know what? By the way, congratulations to myself. I want to celebrate myself this year.
Okay.
Because I'm clocking 10 years in the industry this year.
Funny enough, I actually wrote about the 10-year club a couple of weeks ago in our weekly column, and I was just giving a shout out to 10-year club. People who have lasted in this industry for 10 years. It's not easy.
It's not.
How?
It's not. It's really
and
not
to do it
easy.
at that level.
It's really not easy.
Okay, now I'm getting to the fun parts. Getting to the fun parts before we let you go. You know what I mean? My producer's looking at me like, hey, time.
Okay, wait. Before you continue, that guy must wait my shoe, man. Hello, it's my time.
Hey, it's that time.
Relax.
Talk to you, Ed. You wanted to add something.
I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Speaking on music, it's 10 years, so I'm not really sure what I want to do.
All right.
I think I'm going to pose a question on Twitter whether I should shoot a Dimi Nengepo's music video or if I should record a new song and just move on. Because people really love that song. I'm starting to hate that song, by the way. Because every time I go somewhere to perform, they want me to perform that. I'm like, guys, can we move on?
Like, sometimes maybe even 2 or 3 times in the same set. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Just quick, fun, quirky questions. right? Before we let you go, who was your fiercest rival in your earlier formative years when you were singing? This is not even before the Antonios. Was there like a girl in school or a guy in school, or like just after, maybe even after, even with Texan, where you felt like, yeah, okay, this one can sing, but not better than me? No.
Maybe the girls in the choir. It always made me feel like,
You can tell, like, come on, you know.
I think I'm better than that. Like, you guys are singing. No offense to anyone.
Okay, and then industry-wise, who do you feel like industry-wise was always like, yo, but this girl can sing, and the type of songs that she's putting out, you know what I mean? Or not even look at me, looking or saying, come on, just go. Maybe it's even a male vocalist.
Namibian?
Yeah, Namibian, yeah.
I don't think I had anyone that I envied, but I had somebody that I incredibly looked up to, and that's Tequila. Till today, I think she's amazing. That woman has so much talent. I have so much love for her. And, you know, Tequila, shout out to you. Thank you so much for paving way for singers like me. Like, we don't have a lot of vocalists in this country. So she was one of the first.
She's a pioneer, man.
She's a powerhouse. Yeah. So definitely Tequila.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, in terms of, okay, cool. So we got that out of the way. All right. In terms of your best collaboration, I know you work with Bethel a lot. So let's exclude Bethel. That's a cheat code. That's a cheat code. Who do you think or what song do you think that you collaborated with, that you featured on, was one of the best songs for you?
But come on, NSK, you know I haven't done a lot of collabos.
You have. There's a couple of songs that you did.
With who?
I mean, well, okay, not top of mind right now. Not top of mind right now. Apart from Bethel songs, damn it. So I guess we can revert back to Bethel then. Okay. So your best
Love.
Unconditional Love.
Yes.
So you do. Man, it's good to hear this. There's a lot of people that love that song also.
We should probably shoot a music video for that.
You should
song.
probably.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my money right.
Okay.
And this is why I'm trying to do all of these things
stuff.
outside the music, because music is such an expensive, demanding baby. Like, you need to spend. So I'm trying to get my money right so that I can just really get back to the music and stop delaying people like You's destinies, because I'm sure there's a message that, you know, you need to hear from one of my songs.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, we especially the 2007, 2008, 2009, 10 era, we experienced a Namibian beef like no other. Yes, we did. And we all had sides one way or another. Some people were on my lighty. And I was like, on my lighty. It's either Mshasho or GMT.
Yeah.
So which one were you, N? Don't worry, King Tini will not be mad at you. Gaza will not be mad at you. They know me and they know you personally.
Yeah.
Which one were you, N?
I was just Anne, man.
Because naturally, because you did explain earlier that you were in your own little bubble.
Also, there's a lot of things that don't impress me. I'm not faced by a lot of things. I think if I was impressed by a lot of things, I would have been doing things I shouldn't be doing, you know. But I'm that person. I'm like my own person. I want to work for my stuff. I want to fight for my stuff. So I live in my little world. I've seen the beef. I think both artists are incredible. And I mean, shout out to both of them. Thank you so much for paving way for people like Ann Singer to be able to do what they do in the industry. So I wasn't.
So you were neutral. You were like, it was not.
Like, y'all do you, man. Like, I don't want to be part of that.
And then lastly, because you did work with this man, you did work with Mushe, and by extension, you know Exit, you know the camp. Robert loves you. You love Robert. And there's always debate at the Shibins, at the car washes, wherever. Yeah, Mushe is the more talented one. No, Exit is the more talented one. So who is the more talented one? I mean,
you know, sometimes, usually I'm minding my own business, and then the drama finds me, and I feel like whatever I say is going to be used against me.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I really love Exit, man.
Yeah.
I think he's really talented. He's amazing. He's an amazing lyricist. He's talented. He's an all-round creative. He's really good. Yeah.
And it's an overflow. Like this guy every year, bruh.
No,
he drops.
Amazing.
Or sometimes twice in a year.
Yeah.
A whole album. 20 songs.
The other guy is also, he's doing his thing. Yeah. I don't remember the last time he released anything. I mean, we only see him in the news for other things. But But Exit is amazing. I have some really there's some songs that I really love from Exit. I wish we didn't have to do this interview, man. Like if you had just kept my name out of your mouth, out of your conversations, and out of your drama, I wouldn't be here. But no shade, and I'm not saying that Exit is my favorite because of that. But I genuinely think Exit
just genuinely appreciating from far.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And is there anything else that's on your heart that you want to put on the table?
Yeah.
Put it on the table. Own your truth. This is Industry Loop. Here we own Namibian stories and we tell untold stories.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you so much for having me, and I just want to let the public out there know that 10 years I've been in this industry. Not once have I been in the newspaper or on a tabloid or anywhere else for anything negative. It's unfortunate that I'm here today because of what happened, but I'm not my past. The people that I've dealt with in the past have nothing to do with me. They're not part of my future. They're not part of my now. I'm working towards my goal, and I want people to continue seeing me for what I've built over the years, rather than seeing somebody I have children with or somebody I slept with in the past before they see me. I'm still me. I'm still working on my brand. The music is coming, and thank you so much for the support. Thank you to the naysayers. Thank you for the insults. Thank you for everything basically. But in all honesty, guys, let's do better. Let's focus on being great. We don't have time. Time is fleeting. We're here for a reason. You have a purpose. Make sure when you leave this planet, you bow out gracefully because you did exactly what you needed to do when you got here.
Ow. What do I say after all of that? But seriously, thank you so much, Anne, for your time.
Thank you, NSK. I appreciate you.
And thank you for trusting us. Thank you for trusting the platform.
Yeah.
Thank you for trusting me.
Yeah.
To have you unpack this and clarify who you are as a beautiful the person that I know in my personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Namibia needed to see this.
Yeah.
The continent needed to see this.
I don't do this a lot.
You don't. You really don't.
In my little corner, minding my own business. And
Yes,
people come for me, and then you think silence is a weakness. It's not.
It's not. Yeah.
I can go there with you. I just choose not to.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I would like to add. Thank you so much for this platform. I think it's incredibly significant and important to have platforms like this where people are allowed to speak. We don't have many of these.
True.
Women are not allowed, and women are an easy target.
Truth.
And I appreciate the fact that I'm a woman, I'm here, and you've given me the platform and an opportunity to speak for me, for myself. Nobody else is allowed to speak for Ann Singer out there. Only I know her truth because I live her life, and I'm her. Nobody out there should speak for Anne because they don't know her truth. So I appreciate that.
Well, on that note, we end it off right there. Thank you so much, Loopers. Drop a comment, tweet, jump on Facebook, hashtag Industry Loop, do whatever you need to do, but celebrate what's Namibian. This is Namibian, and she came and she told her story, and this is what we do on Industry Loop. Until the next one, get yourself a copy of The New Era, read, be informed, and go register. Why? I haven't registered yet, but I'm getting there. But I will.
I'm going now after this.
Are we? Okay, sharp. I'm not gonna follow her, but I will register. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Stay right here for the next episode. Until the next one, we say GMTM.
Keep on a va va bala, va chenga va tala ma kampa.